I'm David Mason. I'm the Director of Public Health for the town of Sandwich, and today we're presenting to you the public service announcement number 6. We have with us today Joanne Lamoth from the Public Library, and she's going to talk to us about what's going on with the programs there, so we can see what you can take advantage of with that program. But we'll start it with Chief Burke for some updates of where we stand.
Thank you, Dave. We started our 5th operational period today. The total number of cases is 27, with 12 recovered confirmed today, with 6 additional, hopefully by the end of the day. So that'll make 27 positive cases, 18 recoveries. We do understand the numbers are only as good as the testing, but at least we are in double digits now for recovery, which is good news. We still have 3 residents hospitalized, and we have the age range is still 21 to 85 in terms of COVID positives.
Did you, I know we were talking, the COVID group was talking about family safety and communication plans. Did you want to address that?
Yeah, so I want to make sure that if you have a loved one that has a caretaker, that you do have a plan in case that caretaker becomes incapacitated or ill. I think it's important that you have backups to be able to take care of the loved ones. So we don't want to get in a situation where we're at a call, caretaker is ill and we're going to transport to the hospital, and we have somebody that needs care being left behind. So I ask that all folks, if you have a loved one that is taken care of by a caretaker, that you do have a backup plan and you work with your home health aid agencies and your own families to be able to come up with something solid. So if we're faced with that situation, it can be a seamless transition.
Thanks, JJ. And just a couple other things I'd like to cover before we get to Joanne is we currently have our public recreation areas open, meaning the beaches and the conservation lands. How long we keep those open for is dependent upon how you behave at those facilities. We've seen in many towns that they've closed down beaches, and it depends upon how you behave and your responsibility. If we start to see people grouping up down there, we will be put into a situation for the greater good to shut down those facilities. So it's up to you whether we close those facilities down or not. You make that decision. Be responsible. So Joanne, let's get to the library. Tell us about how your staff is continuing to serve the community remotely.
Well, we've transitioned into a 24/7 sort of new branch of the Sandwich Public Library that we've always offered remote services, but now all of our attention has gone to that. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about how that you can access online resources and downloadable content from home, because we certainly need diversions at this time. And so I'll talk about that in a minute. But I guess generally overall, behind the scenes, we've been working on curating the collection, so putting all of our focus on our digital collection. We've been having some Zoom meetings of portions of the staff to talk about getting ready, mobilizing to do some additional online content. Just an aside, we posted a Facebook video, so if you know the library and you know Mr. Parsons and you know how we raise turtles every year, we did a live turtle cam from home of Mr. Parsons actually took the turtles to his house in Bourne and posted it on Facebook. We had 2,500 views. So I don't know if that's attributed to Mr. Parsons or getting to see where he lives or what tie he was wearing. But it speaks to sort of that connectivity that we're trying to do. So not sort of the professional library services, but because the staff is always so available to our library patrons that we wanted to sort of make that human connection. So I'd like to talk a little bit about how you can access library collections from home. And we've always had these services, and we have a group of patrons that use them extensively, but we've had certainly a huge demand on these services now. So first of all, in order to access them, if you go to the library's webpage, which is sandwichpubliclibrary.com, we've got a list of the resources. And the first thing you're going to need is a library card. So If you are new to the Sandwich Public Library and don't have one, we also have posted on our webpage that you can go online and get an electronic card and be able to use some of our resources. The other thing that I don't think people know is the Boston Public Library is considered the library of the Commonwealth, and any citizen in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, if you live here, if you work here, you can also get a Boston Public Library e-card, and we've got information on our webpage on how to do that, and so it just expands additional online resources that you can get. So I'd like to dig down a little bit on what we actually have to offer, and on the slide we have I guess the most important and most popular one is Overdrive. And Overdrive provides you with free ebooks and audiobooks, and you can use it on any device. You can use it on your iPhone, your Kindle, your iPad, your desktop computer. And it's simply a matter of logging in, creating an account with your library card, and then accessing a lot of the resources that are there. We have been diligently tracking the metrics of what's going on with that site, of what people are looking to borrow, what holds have been placed on material, and we've been adding to the collection on a daily basis. Another site that the library has too is called Hoopla, and Hoopla is ever popular because not only can you get audiobooks, you can also get movies, television shows, comic books. There is an extensive collection, particularly of kids' books. Some of them are interactive as well, so that's been incredibly popular. Another one that we have too is called RB Digital. So what you can do is log on, once again, create an account, and you can read cover to cover a massive inventory of magazines, and it ranges anywhere from the National Enquirer, which is always good for a laugh, to Us Weekly, to The Economist, to Newsweek, cooking, gardening, you name it. There are even adult coloring books on there. There are thousands of titles, and that's been incredibly popular as well. We also, another one too that we've been pushing out is, I don't think a lot of people know that, but logging into our product that's called Newsbank, you can actually read the Cape Cod Times cover to cover, or you can search for a particular article, and that's been incredibly popular lately, as well as the New York Times that you can read cover to cover. We have an awful lot of research databases too, if people are interested in learning something new, or if your kids, you're homeschooling your kids as everyone is doing, you're a college student home and you need to do some more heavy-duty research. Again, I'll refer you back to the webpage. We have another product too as far as online learning. It's called Canopy, and that starts with a K. It's a site, again, that has streaming movies, and one of the great features of that, it's got a product called the Great Courses. So you can actually take an online course on history, on culture, on language, on just about anything. So I guess the key here is the library playing the role to keep people entertained, to keep people engaged, to keep people feeling that they are taking advantage of, this new arena of we sort of don't know what to do with ourselves sometimes. And those are some of the services that we provide. One thing I wanted to say too is when you go to the webpage, we not only are offering you links to all of these products, but with every product there's also a video tutorial. So you can actually run the video tutorial and go step by step of how to download the app to your specific device, how to log in with your library card, and so forth. So what we've been seeing too, the staff and I, a lot of questions from people who, the most prevalent has been, I don't know my PIN. And so we're able to answer that, and specific questions on dealing with the digital resources. So what we've been doing is my email is provided on the website, and that allows me to sort of filter out to my staff. If it's a question that I can't answer, then I go to the appropriate staff person and we sort of talk about, okay, how can we fix this and get back to the library patron. I would also encourage everyone too to like the Sandwich Public Library's Facebook page. We're trying not to inundate people with a lot of informational stuff and keeping a balance of not getting, too silly. but we've been providing updates of additional resources, either through the state library system or just general web resources, because I think it's really important for people now to make sure that you're using a legitimate website and you're using a legitimate web source. I know, a lot of people will post a question to Facebook and the answers are either wrong or incorrect, or it sort of goes off and takes a left turn and makes comments, and people can be mean and silly. And so if you have any questions too, if the library staff can sort of serve as your gateway of getting you legitimate information. And that's why we've also posted links to these videos on the Sandwich Public Library's homepage as well.
That's fabulous, Joanne, but I need to back up.
Yeah, it's information.
So we can
overload.
watch Turtles live
You can.
24/7.
You can watch Mr. Parsons feed the turtles live.
Awesome. And I mean, so it ranges from watching the Turtles to it, because I understand that you also can access up to 300 Ivy League courses for free also?
You can. There is also a site, and we've provided a link on our webpage that you can actually take a course from Yale for free.
Wow, nice.
So those are the resources that we're trying to sort of farm and put out there, seeing that our role is that, again, people are looking for ways to, they're diversions, but there's some benefit to them.
Fabulous. Now, any of those resources, do they require a library card to access any of those?
They do require a library card, and again, that's why if you've got a Sandwich Public Library card, you just log in using the barcode number and your PIN. If you don't remember your PIN, just let us know. We'll give you some information. If you've never had a library card, there's information on our webpage that you can sign up for an electronic card.
Okay. Now, a lot of us have been in a lot of Zoom meetings, Zoom after Zoom meetings. Now, is there Zumba? And have you led a class in Zumba?
The secret life of the library director. So this was sort of the funny question I knew was coming today. So I've been a licensed Zumba instructor for about 6 years now. And I've taught, I teach at a gym on the Kingston-Duxbury line, and I'm getting a lot of requests for it, so I'm working on it. It's a little bit different if you're just sitting, at your kitchen table having a Zoom meeting and then you have audio, but I kind of wanted to speak to that because I've been teaching the same group of people at my gym for a long time, and we miss that connectivity because we've become great friends. And if you can't take a Zumba class, I know I started Zumba when I was kind of going through some challenging times, and I discovered when I walked into a Zumba class and then I walked out and the weight of the world had been lifted off my shoulders. So there are Zumba videos on YouTube, but hey, turn on the radio, pull up your Spotify playlist, and just dance around your kitchen. There's another thing too. There's a program called Laughter Yoga, and you're going to feel like a complete idiot if you try it, but it incorporates some of the physiological and psychological benefits of yoga, but using breathing techniques. And so I'd encourage people to do that. We're going to be posting some of those things as well on the website. So, but
I think
dancing and music helps.
I think that maybe the fire department and the police department should check in on some of that Zumba to relieve a little stress.
I like it, Dave.
All right.
Chief, I'll send you the link, Chief, when I'm ready to launch.
Thank you, Joanne.
So there we have it from Joanne, our lead librarian, and her staff at Sandwich Public Library, as far as everything from turtles to a little Zumba to a little Ivy League class at the end of the day. Not necessarily in that order, but it sounds like you have a lot of fun going, and people ought to look into it as this time goes on. So thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.